All right, hello, we are live. This is umbraCoffee episode 41, and I'm here with Phil from Hi-Fi.
Hi.
We're actually live in Manchester. I'm not in London, and I'm up here for the Manchester Umbraco BBQ, which is going to be happening later, and you're coming along?
Yes.
Awesome. Also, Marcin's not here. He's at another wedding, getting drunk. He said he'd be too drunk to join, so that's not happening. We also have a lovely addition to this week's episode, which is a unicorn cake, because I was told by somebody that it's the chief unicorn's birthday this weekend. So we're going to enjoy some unicorn cake. I've got a massive knife to cut it as well. We're going to enjoy some unicorn cake during this episode. Interestingly, this cake featured at a wedding this week too. So let's see if we can screen share that. Yeah, so Andy Hawkin got married. I think it was on Monday, and he also had a unicorn cake, which is fantastic. I've never seen that at a wedding. But congratulations, congratulations to Andy. And I don't think you're not wearing an Umbraco t-shirt, but I am. You may have realized on Twitter today it is Umbraco Tea Day. So it's a trend where you take a picture of your Umbraco t-shirt and you put it up on Twitter. So we've got a ton of different people, it seems. There's Kim and Anders from HQ. We've got Lee with his very old Umbraco t-shirt. We've got a nice one here from Dan. There's a ton of different t-shirts appearing. So that's awesome to see.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be great later at the barbecue. Yeah. Hopefully a few people come up. I know Pete's orchestrated this one. So yeah, that's going to be really cool. What else has happened this week? So festivals. This is kind of a big topic at the moment. There's a lot of festivals coming up, including Sweden. Poland is happening like in 2 weeks, I think. 2 weeks today. Are you planning to go to any of the upcoming festivals?
I'm planning to go to London, yeah.
Awesome. That would be cool. And there'll be a little bit more on that coming in a second. Sweden, they've announced another speaker, and hey, look, it's someone that we know. It's me. I'm going to be speaking at the Swedish festival and also the Dutch festival, which has announced its full lineup of 22 speakers. Looks like a pretty packed schedule. So I'm doing my talk on Elasticsearch and how you'd use that with Umbraco. That's going to be awesome. US festival I'm also doing, and they've been adding a few more speakers as well. And HQ announced this week that there's going to be training courses, I think, as well, just before. So for people in the US that haven't done training, that's really useful. And now, something that I know people on Twitter have been asking about quite a lot, and we at the Leeds meetup last night were discussing as well, was the Umbraco UK festival. It traditionally happens in November, but we've kind of not really released any details so far this year. And yesterday at the Leeds meetup, I tried to demo what might be a sneak peek at the website, but it didn't really work.
No, it didn't really work very well at all. Hopefully my demo later on will work a bit better.
Yeah, well, live demos.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of tricky, but so yeah, we've not really announced any details, but I think now is the time that we can finally release some details about the Umbraco UK festival. So I'm very, very pleased to announce, if I can find a window to share, that the UK festival is coming back. It's going to be on the 8th and the 9th of November this year, and we're going to be going to the Barbican again. We've actually put up a website. This is a kind of a placeholder website, but it's got all the details, and most importantly, you can buy tickets, which is cool. So from today, right now, go and buy your ticket. The event will be the 8th and 9th. We've got some awesome looking sessions already lined up. We have got an umbraCoffee that's going to be live from the event, some discussion panels, and some awesome workshops as well. I'm going to be running a workshop on Umbraco and serverless, so Azure Functions and other stuff. And Ismail's going to be doing one called Hold My Beer, Umbraco Refactoring Anti-Patterns, basically taking some of the stupid websites that we've seen badly architected and putting all of that into a workshop so you can learn. I think that one's going to be quite popular. We're also doing a hackathon, and we've moved the setup for the workshops onto the previous day. Before it was on the main day, and it kind of interfered with people going to sessions. So this time, finally, you can come along on the Thursday, enjoy workshops. They're both half-day workshops, and the hackathon will run all day. It'd be really, really cool to see as many people as we can along at those events.
No, sounds really good.
And I guess, and call for speakers. So if you want to submit a talk, we'd love to have your input. But yeah, I guess people should hop on buying their ticket as soon as they possibly can. umbraCoffee.co.uk and click buy tickets.
I think it was really good what you were saying last night at Umbraco Leeds, how you streamline the purchasing process and how you streamline the workshops as well. That was really good.
Yeah, so actually I've not mentioned that, but this year we've decided we ditched Eventbrite because it was costing a lot of money, especially for attendees. So now I think it's just a £1 booking fee with the new system we've got, and it's all within the website, so you don't go off to another site. And what that now means is when you've completed the process, we redirect you to a page that says, now please book your workshops and sign up, because we had problems before, people didn't know about them and stuff. So we've got it all ready to go, sign up.
Much better,
and we hope the workshops will sell out fast, so please sign up as soon as you can, and to the hackathon too. What else has happened this week? Umbraco released a new version, 7.12. I don't really know what's changed. I think there's just quite a few bug fixes. There was also a package that caught my eye, released. It's called the BG Icon Picker. Let me see if I can find this. Looks really, really cool. So BG Icon Picker is this, it's like a way of just picking SVG icons from ICO Moon, I think. So you can have them in your, in your CMS and then pump that value out, say, onto the front end. So pulls in a style sheet and then pushes those out onto the back office, which is really neat. I can see a big need for this.
Definitely.
In my sites. And something I think that you can now talk about is something that we had a quick call about a few weeks ago, didn't we? And
we did.
I got a hands-on demo of this. It looks really awesome.
I think you mentioned this about 3-4 months ago from a tweet from Tim Payne. Mentioning that from an Umbraco Leeds meetup that I did a couple of months ago. And from that, I decided to have a chat with you about doing today. So we're really excited. So
for those that don't know, I think 3 or 4 months ago, you did a demo at the Umbraco Leeds meetup with this new package, positional content, that you've been working on for a while. And it looked really, really cool. There wasn't too many details, but having had a hands-on demo, it's really, really nice. So do you want to maybe give us a quick demo and go through the basic principles of the package?
I'll just share my screen.
Excellent.
So positional content basically is when it comes down to it, it's a way to store the relationship between content and a background image underneath the content, and that content can be anything that you want. So when we initially launched it, we launched it on the idea of a kind of a banner builder where you're able to build content on top of your banners and have them react responsively. So I can give you an example of that now, a demo of that. So am I on my screen now?
You're sharing the Visual Studio solution right now.
Oh, right, okay. So just give me a second.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay, that's the right one. So this is positional content. We have a starter pack that we have set up for this to make it easier for people to understand how it's built and how it's used within Umbraco. We went through a beta period earlier on in the year with people from Umbraco Leeds, and that's the feedback that they gave me, is because it does things in a slightly different way than people are used to. And the idea is that you're using nested content and document types, and positional content works in a wrapper around that, which is something that I don't think has been much done before. And that idea, one of the benefits of Umbraco from my perspective is the consolidation, the way that you can bring things together and you can wrap things around things all the time. And being able to do that in this way, it has made this package possible, really. So if I just give you a brief example of it. So this is positional content in its responsive mode, and some people might have seen this given in the demo in the Twitter example I gave earlier on. So I've got some content set up here. As you can see, I can move around the content on the page, and I can move between different breakpoints, and I can define different images for different breakpoints and different positions for the content for each breakpoint as well. And then if I go out into the front end release of it, I can see. Yeah,
that's super cool. And so I notice here you've got a different image on one of the breakpoints.
Yes.
Do you want to explain that?
So on one of the breakpoints, I can swap out an image. So if I go to this one and say override image, that overrides the image, and then refresh that. Yeah, and that's changed the image. Yeah.
That's really awesome, and I'm super impressed with how clean the editing experience is, because it's just so simple.
Yeah.
The fact that you can define your breakpoints, you have tabs along the top, and then you see the content get almost resized to that breakpoint is really nice.
We've worked really hard to make the UI as simple and as easy and as intuitive as possible. And there's been a lot of versions of this before we've got to this point. But things like, so if I go into the crop in section, I can change the zoom level. So with the cropper there, and a lot of people are getting very excited about the cropper, and the cropper's a tiny small part of it. But it's it's come together quite nicely. One of the things that I'd like to show you as well is just change this. Go into the data types for it and show you one of the setup. So this is the data type setup for positional content itself, and it allows you to set up as many breakpoints as you'd like to set up, however you'd like to set it up. And there's loads of settings, and we can apply content to loads of different parts of it. So apply content to the images, apply it to the items that are on there as well, and apply settings, global settings around it. So it's really come together quite nicely. But one of the best things that I've found with this, and one of the things that we're using it for as well, is, I'll bring this across here. So you've seen it working as a banner, but this is another thing that we've got set up here. So this is a template builder. I won't go into what it's actually used for. And this is the front end side of it. So we're using it to create, to apply button styles and icons and all sorts of things to it. And if I bring over the other side, this is positional content, working and defining
how that image is kind of laid out, what's overlaid over it.
So what hotspots are available for the person that's designing the template to apply. So what we're interested in this really is how positional content is going to be used. When I was talking to Callum about it originally, he came up with an idea for it about using it to put background images on top of each other, and using it for parallax views. And I'd never thought about that before. So we've one of the ideas that we came up with is asking the community, what is positional content? Because we don't know what it is. We don't know what it's going to be capable of in the future. And we've only come up with a couple of ideas, but we tried to make this as malleable and changeable and adaptable as possible, that you can throw loads of really interesting things. So we're interested, we're excited to see what the community is going to come up with on this.
That's awesome, and I think, as you say, it's very malleable. So this demo is a perfect example of that. How you've got something that is not traditional web pages or anything. It's now being manipulated by positional content in the CMS. And you're right. That there's kind of infinite possibilities you could use this for. Just some of the examples I gave was a carousel slider, and I gave the example of some awful CMS called WordPress that has a lovely plugin called Revolution Slider, and it does some very similar things in terms of being able to overlay text and overlay images and then change things at a certain breakpoint. And it's lovely to see that coming into Umbraco. So this gives us the ability to replicate that type of functionality, but so much more as well. The parallax example is something else, or even the phone cards like you demoed.
Built upon the basic understanding that umbraco is the thing that you're storing is a JSON file, and how you use that JSON file in the front end is up to you. And we can provide you with some tools to be able to do it. But and the starter pack that comes and the plugin that comes will do all the banner stuff out of the box there, but it's how you use that in the future, because the banner stuff is really exciting in itself, and it allows, as you said, that similar to the Revolution banner stuff on WordPress, but so much more.
Yeah, and actually, you mentioned that you come out the box with certain styles and scripts, and when I first saw this, I went, oh goodness, the front end of this is just going to be horrendous. There's going to be tons of JavaScript, tons of CSS, but the most impressive part is that the CSS here is super, super clean.
Oh, if I can get to it.
That's the back office. So if on the front end, the CSS for this is just insane. It's really, really clean. It's like very, very minimal. And you're just doing all of it with basic HTML, really. Just containers, wrappers, showing, hiding things, so depending on the JSON.
That's the picture that's underneath it, using a picture element for each of the images, and this in the fig caption is all the items at the different breakpoints, and it just swaps out which item at which point, and this is all done by Lewis, who's sat next to us here. So yeah, it is incredibly clean underneath it, and we're using quite a lot of instances on pages of this already, and we're able to use it within grids and within nested content. So it's nested content within positional content within nested content. Wow. It gets quite crazy, really, but it's the stuff that we're using all the time. It's really exciting for us.
That's awesome, and yeah, really, really fantastic work on this. It's available for download right now, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's available for download now, and the thing that I also noticed was you've built a really lovely looking website for it too, which is just shows how much work you've actually put into this. That you launched with a nice website that explains exactly what it is, a quick start guide, demonstration, etc. So
we've got a blog post underneath there, because we think that it's very important to be able to help people out. We've been doing this for 6 months and using it for 6 months, but when you're coming in cold, you need some help to get it up and running.
Awesome. Well, like I say, that is truly awesome work, and I do intend to play with it at some point. So yeah, awesome. Maybe just onto some final news for the week. Swift had their release 41, issue 41, and it only had one post in it this month. Normally there's two, but the one post is really, really fantastic. So Dave Wussenberg, the kind of umbraco tours expert.
Oh yeah, I've not had to play around with this yet.
But he's demoed how you can create tours easily, and he's titled the blog "A Tour of the Back Office Tours." So this is just how you create tours using his package, the Tour Builder.
Yeah, so I've heard this is really good.
Yeah. And just a step-by-step guide of exactly what you do. My pull request of the week is related to image cropper, which we've just discussed, and it comes from Soren, who has done an awesome job here of being able to embed the image cropper like you would normally have inside of a normal property.
Oh, right.
So normally this is just on a media item, and then if you want to go and change the crops, you have to go and edit the media items, change those. It would be really nice if you could attach a media item to an image cropper and then adjust crops for it.
Oh, that's really
so
nice.
He set this up, and it can be done on a property. Here he is demoing it on media, and then he'll go on to demo inline exactly how you can pick a media item and then manipulate the crops for that just by hitting the crop button, and then you have a really nice dialogue. So
really nice.
That's almost complementary to your positional content. This is a pull request that's going into the core, I believe, that he's actively working on. So massive high five you rock to Soren. That's really, really awesome work again. Sophie's done another docs diary. It was really, really good to see kind of how they're progressing, and they've also mentioned some of the UX improvements they've made to the documentation, which is awesome. This report and issue button. I think that was one of the pull requests that one of the new interns made, actually. So that's awesome. A bit more community love from Niels. I love this one. He said gold partners maybe kind of don't get spoken about too much because they're funding the CMS, but they do deserve some love, because they are making this, as he described it, they're making like commercial open source possible.
Yeah.
Making sure that the CMS is also going to be available for all and here tomorrow.
Yeah.
They're sustaining members of the core team.
Yes.
They're sustaining members of.
Yeah, I think it's a really important thing to do, because open source is really nice, but it needs some commerciality, it needs some support behind it, and that's what we're trying to do with positional content as well, to get to that point.
Yeah.
But today you need to give something away to get people to use it, to get that buy-in, and then provide things outside.
Absolutely, and there's tons of ways of doing it. So Umbraco is the example, has their gold partnership, but also you can just become a registered partner, which has got a much lower buy-in point. Even people like Matt Brailsford and Scrift have got Patreon pages, so you can go on there and pledge a couple of pounds a month, or a bit more if you wanted to. So that's, again, really great way of supporting it. And then, like you say, positional content and stuff, there's packages that maybe can have free tiers and more premium.
Well, that's what we're looking to do with this
premium model.
We're looking to provide add-ons that mainly improves the editing experience. We've got some really interesting and cool ideas up our sleeve that you'll be able to see later on in the year. Awesome.
And whilst we're talking about commercial stuff, I've already mentioned WordPress, so why don't we go the full hog this week. I noticed yesterday, I think thanks to Lee Kelleher, actually, the wonderful Lee Kelleher, pointed out that Episerver, the kind of midpoint in the market, enterprise-ish CMS, has just been bought for $1.1 billion. Yeah, there was this blog here on TechCrunch. 1.1 billion for a .NET CMS is insane, and it's privately owned and everything. So that's crazy. I saw Neil's posted last week an email about we're kind of batting off these offers, and I mean, yes, it's an enterprise CMS, but it's insane to see how much these things sell for. But also kudos to Umbraco HQ for wanting to stick at it and
definitely
staying true to their ethos and not selling for 1.1 billion.
Well, we said the same thing when we saw that tweet as well.
Yeah. And I think that's about it for this week. Was there anything you wanted to add?
No, I don't think so. Only that we're looking forward to the barbecue later on.
Yeah, really looking forward.
It doesn't rain.
It has been raining this morning, typical Manchester weather. But to be honest, the London barbecue, which was 2 weeks ago, it also rained. We stayed inside the whole time. So it might happen. We never know. There's also the Leeds meetup last night was great.
It was really good.
There's some meetups coming up next week. We have one in London. There's also the Kent and Umbraco meetup at the end of this month. So check out the meetups, and we'd love to see as many people there as possible. And of course, if you come to the barbecue tonight, we'll see you later.
Yeah.
I think that's about it, isn't it?
That's about it.
Other than we will now dig into our unicorn cake, and wish Niels a very, very happy birthday for this weekend. I heard he was turning 60, but I think that's not true. Have a lovely weekend all, and buy your UK festival tickets. We'd love to see as many people there as possible. Cool.